Rio, securing 2 more golds and 4 bronze medals. Success came from a broad spectrum of sports, from cycling and diving to judo and shooting, as well as Britain's first medal in the men's all-around gymnastics in 108 years. Our sports news correspondent Paul Kelso has been speaking to some of the winners.
Still absolutely speechless, hasn't quite sunk in. I feel like I'm living somebody else's life right now. I kind of woke up this morning, fell under my pillow, the medal was still there, and then pinched myself and I was awake. I was like, this is a dream come true, and absolutely fantastic. Still on cloud 9 and not going to be coming down anytime soon.
Chris, how about you?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I could not sleep last night. I literally just stay awake, looking at the ceiling. I was talking to Jack as well, my synchro partner, who I won it with. Still, it's just so overwhelming, you know. We knew that we could impact at this Games, but to actually come here under pressure and do it and deliver is just a dream come true.
You both got stories about how you made it this far. Joe, note that you were initially knocked back by your canoe club for being too young, and you had to persuade them to let you give the sport a go. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so when I first applied I was a bit too young, so kind of had to put it on the back burner for a while, and unfortunately I passed across again, canoeing in mine, and yeah, I applied for the canoe club. Started off once a week and kind of twice a week, 3 times a week, and before now I got the canoeing bug and was going out all the time and enjoying the river and just enjoying the sport for what it is. And 12 years later, standing here talking to you with the Olympic medal around my neck and not the gold medal, so yes, it's gone pretty well.
Hey Chris, you got here despite a horrific set of injuries back in 2009, a ruptured spleen, you were in a coma, you were told, never mind not diving again, you might not live. Give us an idea of how long that road back has been.
Yeah, you know, it's fantastic to have come so far from really like where I've been. You know, to be told that you've got a 5% chance of surviving an operation when you go into theatres, it's not ideal, it's not really what you want to hear. But to get through that, you know, really made me stronger as a person. It made me more determined, it made me work harder. And I went into London really confident and not in the medal contention position, but I got 5th and 9th. That gave me a lot of confidence for the other competitions leading up to Rio. And then, yeah, did the hard work and it's paid off.
Great achievement by all of them. Let's hope for more today. Let's take a quick look at the weather. And Eastern England and South East Scotland.
GB's Olympic medal rush is well underway after historic victories for kayaker Joe Clark and synchro divers Chris Mears and Jack Law in Rio. Law and Mears claimed Britain's first ever Olympic diving gold medal in the synchronised 3-metre springboard. Britain had only ever won 8 Olympic diving medals, all were silver and bronze. Joe Clark also caused an upset by winning the men's kayak slalom. After going 3rd fastest in the semi-final, Clark produced an even better final run to win by just 0.17 seconds.
Absolutely made up, and just, I really can't put it into words. To be Olympic champion is really a dream come true. The first time I tried canoeing was actually through the Scouts, really liked it, and then I applied to the local canoe club and they just said, oh, sorry, you're too young. But there's the opportunity to start through my local middle school, so fortunately I was one of the 8 chosen, one of the 4 guys, and yeah, kind of whirlwinded from there, and wow, 12 years later I've won the Olympics.
Chris Froome repeated his feat of London 2012 by winning bronze in the individual time trial. 3-time Tour de France champion finished 1 minute and 12 seconds behind the winner, Switzerland's Fabian Cancellara. Geraint Thomas finished 9th.
Amazing feeling. I mean, of course I would have wanted to be up there fighting for the gold medal, but at the end of the day I gave it everything I had, and I've got no regrets.
Max Whitlock claimed Britain's first all-round Olympic gymnastics medal in 108 years. His bronze is also only the 9th medal won by a British gymnast in Olympic history. Sally Conway beat Austria's Bernadette Graf to win the 70-kilogram judo bronze medal. It goes some way to making up for the disappointment of suffering an injury during her 2nd round defeat at London 2012. Meanwhile, Stephen Scott claimed bronze for Team GB after defeating fellow Brit Tim Neal in the double trap shooting event. Scott scored a perfect 30 in the bronze medal match to secure Team GB a 2nd shooting medal in Rio. Aston Villa manager Roberto Di Matteo says his side desperately need new players after crashing out of the EFL Cup. They lost 3-1 at League Two Luton A great win for Luton, who will face Leeds at home in the next round, but Di Matteo has now lost his first 2 matches in charge.
Trump has accused President Obama of founding the so-called Islamic State. The comments made during a rally in Florida last night come as Trump continues to face a backlash for hinting the day before that his opponent Hillary Clinton could be assassinated by gun rights supporters.
Is honoring President Obama. He is the founder of ISIS. He's the founder of ISIS, okay? He's the founder. He founded ISIS. And I would say the co-founder would be crooked Hillary Clinton. Co-founder, crooked Hillary Clinton.
18-year-old Gabriella Taylor was forced to withdraw from the girls' junior tournament during her quarter-final match with an illness which then led to her spending 4 days in intensive care. Well, joining me now is our reporter, Willem Marks. Willem, explain to us exactly what happened to Gabriella during the tournament.
So during the tournament, she was taken ill during the quarter-finals and retired from the tournament. She was taken to intensive care, spent several days in there. It took them some time to get a diagnosis, but she was eventually diagnosed with something called leptospirosis. That is a zoonotic bacterial infection. That means it's passed from animals to humans. In the UK, it's relatively rare. We had about 71 cases during 2015, and it's typically rodents that are the hosts of this particular bacteria. You can contract it by coming into contact with soil or water that's been contaminated by the urine of these animals. Those animals could be deer, badgers, foxes, in fact. And it's typically found in subtropical regions because the bacteria thrive better in those conditions. I should add, it's extremely rare for it to be passed from human to human. With all that being said, her parents have said that she was operating in a relatively sterile environment during this junior Wimbledon tournament. And once she was diagnosed with this, they have contended and alleged that someone was possibly involved in poisoning her. Scotland Yard are investigating this. But we've been speaking to experts over the course of the day who've said this is a very unlikely, not particularly obvious choice of poison. One of those experts we spoke to was Roger Pickup. He is a professor of the environment and human health at Lancaster University, and this is what he told Sky News earlier today.
I think it'd be quite difficult. You'd have to be a specialist to be able to grow it. It's grown in hospitals and cultured, but it's not like some of the common fast organisms. It takes a long time to grow, up to about 10 days in culture. It's quite difficult to grow. You have to give it specialist nutrients. So yeah, it would have to have been done by an expert if it was done at all.
The doctors I spoke to said that this was very possibly picked up by domestic pets like even a dog or a cat, and the likelihood of someone using a laboratory to culture this, to grow this in culture, was far less likely.
OK, Willem, thank you. She, alongside Victoria Thornley, won silver in the women's double sculls rowing event in Rio. Well, I'm pleased to say we can talk to Robin Dow. He is a coach at Team GB's rowing headquarters at Caversham in Berkshire. Thank you for talking to us this afternoon. No doubt you were watching that race unfold with Katherine and Victoria and cheering them on. What do you make of their silver medal today?
Oh, I certainly was. And, well, what a fantastic result. Yeah, a truly epic Olympic performance, and that is what GB rowing aims to do on the biggest stage, is just have our best athletes step up and deliver the medal. So yeah, very, very pleasing to watch, and I was on the edge of my seat.
Well, it's certainly one of those inspiring tales, because the girls didn't nearly make the plane, did they? Because their form had dipped before selection. So to come from perhaps not going to the games at all to winning silver is quite some achievement.
Yeah, I think that the achievement is outstanding, and I think that we sometimes forget how grueling the training is for these athletes, and sometimes their form in the middle of that, in the middle of the big season, is a little bit lower than we want, in terms of our very high standards. I think in terms of showing what they could deliver, they did that with fantastic class and true spirit, really.
Now, you know both of them very well. A word on Katherine. I mean, 40 years old. What keeps her going? I mean, she's now the most decorated female Olympian in British history. She now has 4 silvers and that gold from London 2012. What keeps her going? What drives her forward?
She is one of the most energetic people I've ever met. Her enthusiasm for the sport and her passion for working within a team, especially a high-performing team, is like no one else really. She's so determined and so diligent and so professional and so passionate, and those things come across from her on a daily basis, and they're the things, they're the reasons why she was in Rio and was able to deliver that performance.
What else have we got to look forward to in terms of rowing for Team GB in the Games?
Oh, we're just getting going. I think we've got some really exciting races to come up. The men's 4 and the men's 8 certainly good prospects, and the women's 8 has been on a real surge, a real rise to form, and to see them race will be really exciting. And of course we've still got Heather and Helen going forwards, and that it's really exciting from my perspective and from our team's perspective to see what they can do, and I'm sure they'll be itching to get out there and show everyone.
Well, that's exciting news that we've only just begun, and we're not doing badly then, are we, with a silver medal to kick things off with? But each team within Team GB has medal targets. What are rowing targeting? What are you hoping to bring home in total from Rio?
Our UK sport target is 5 medals, and I think that we're on track to deliver that.